Hey everybody, welcome to Dave and Joe Liberty Stand, part 3 of our abortion series tonight. And wowee, it's getting fiery in here.
Yeah. Does anybody feel like we've gone off tangent? Or do we want to go back? Is there another? Because I know we've been focusing
so much, and there's so much linked to that, like women's health, abortion, and some
Right.
of my thoughts are some of men's health as well that are pushed aside in men's rights when it comes to abortion. And so there's so much there that I don't think we're going off tangent. We're just trying to cover every aspect because it's such a big topic.
Agreed. I mean, there's so much on top of it that I don't even think, one session is going to cover every bit of it because, like you said about the men's part of it, I do agree that
I've never heard once from them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do agree that, it's not just a women's choice. I think it's a men's choice too because a baby is made with a man and a woman.
Well, yeah. Today's society would tell you otherwise, but they'll tell you two women can have, yeah.
But no.
But that's another show.
I think that a man should have the choice in the decision.
Okay, you guys, I want you guys us to focus on all this whole thing. There is a human life involved.
Yes.
And we're talking about this thing, that program.
Once it connects,
that's I think the heart of the issue needs to start out. What are we dealing with? We're dealing with human life and the sanctity of human life. If our society says this tissue, okay, that we call it a tissue, it can be thrown out. I mean, it just, we were talking about the baby parts initially when we started. And, we have treated as a society, this is a societal thing. This isn't, this is something we need to look at. And, I mean, I have, my heart goes out to women who, someone mentioned earlier about counseling. If a woman does believe the lie that tissue is just tissue and it's not a human life, there's issues there. I mean, that woman, if she goes through the process of an abortion, she needs to have compassion. I mean, she's believed a lie. And so to start the beginning, I think abortion, the beginning of it is life. When does life begin? And who am I to say? I mean, if I killed you, right? Hint this guy. What's your name again? Fred.
let's go with that.
If I killed Fred, would I be held accountable for my choice to kill him?
Yes.
Nuh-uh, because I can kill this child.
No, you would be.
It's late term abortion.
So I'm just saying, yeah, it's late term abortion.
Yeah.
How old are you?
39.
39. You're not old enough. But no, you guys. I mean, I want to have compassion for the woman. But, I mean, I think someone who lies to somebody else about life, they're hurting inside. I mean, I think about the president of Planned Parenthood. This woman's got to be scarred. She has to be damaged material. What are you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, my opinion towards abortion. Now, I am pro-life.
Are you a male or female?
My boyfriend is me.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I think the bigger picture on this is how our government is defining, what's life, what's not. I mean, a lot of your Christians will say it's murder. The government says no, it's not.
It's women's health.
Right. It's all about women's choice.
Right.
And there's this a lady. She's an abortion survivor. Her name is I think her name is Gianna Jessen. She's very well known. She even spoke in front of a congressional committee about Planned Parenthood. And one of the statements that really spoke to me was if she says, and this could be expanded to the general topic of abortion, she says, if Planned Parenthood was about women's rights, where was my rights? And so in my opinion, it's
right.
We have, it's our duty, to protect the ones who can't represent themselves.
Right.
And so I just, I just think it's, it's totally murder, and I think we need to, as a society, we need to step up and do something about this, because obviously unborn children, to a certain extent, have have no rights.
Yeah, well, that's exactly Hillary Clinton's
let me
comment.
jump.
That at 9 months old, that child doesn't have constitutional rights. With this guy is so, he talks about
What
a lot.
did they do at 9 months old? They stabbed him in the head.
Yeah.
Let him die in the other room after 9 months.
No, no, it's my turn. See,
Sorry.
Why does it never
Yeah.
say
No, that's good.
It just upsets me how they do it. It just makes
no,
me sick.
let me say this real quick.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I just didn't want Joe taking over as soon as you were done. No, I happen to believe that as soon as you do the act, that baby's a baby. As soon as
That conception, we would call that.
But some people say, well, beating heart. But I would say, okay, at the very least, a beating heart. Once that heart's beating, that's a person. Is that going to be a Buick if we don't destroy it when it comes out? It's gonna
Yeah,
be
that's
a piece of cheese. No, that's a person with a beating heart.
Well, in
And
science,
everybody in the Declaration of Independence, we all have a life to right. It's a right.
a right to life. A right to life.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you. And it does. That baby's not represented. And even you were saying, the father can't even say anything. Think if the baby had the vote, what to happen.
I don't know how many men here have had
surgery?
Vasectomy?
that's the word I had.
Yes.
I don't know how many men have had a
Scary
vasectomy,
word.
But when a woman wants an abortion, the guy is not there. Don't have to be. When I went to get my vasectomy, which maybe it wasn't my idea completely. No, I'm just kidding. It was
We don't want that
the
thing to
doctor would
reproduce.
not meet me unless she was present and she said she was okay with it.
Really?
How is that possible?
Wow.
We
rules
wanna-
are reversed if she chooses to have her tubes tied.
Don't even need to ask me.
Yeah, exactly.
Do it. And how is that fair? The women can have an abortion and decide not to have a baby or any children. If I decide I don't want to have children anymore, someone out there has to be okay with it before I am.
See, it's more whinings from a white middle-aged
No, I'm not white. Should I talk with an accent? Would that make sense?
Yeah.
Is that Jake from State Farm?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Question. So, let's see. I'm 26 years old. Who was protecting my life 26 years old when my biological mom was thinking about aborting me?
Nobody. You're adopted. I mean, my mom adopted you.
So what?
No one was protecting my life. I just found this out a few months ago.
Yeah. So what are you saying?
I'm saying who's protecting my life?
Evidently God.
Yeah.
Well, we ought to be protecting the unborn.
Right.
That's the
That's
the point.
God.
Right.
Well,
Absolutely.
There's other programs besides Planned Parenthood to help out with
No, I'm asking
point.
like who was obviously.
Well,
Same, probably the same boat
Obviously,
we're in
that's
now.
what I'm saying. God was
They're
protecting
right
my
about it,
life
yeah.
because obviously my biological
What about
mom.
those? You know
wasn't
how many
protecting it.
kids have been aborted in America legally since Roe Wade? Millions. Who protected
She
them?
was the first. She was just happened to be.
Right, but I mean, those
Yeah,
kids
I know
should
what
be
you're
protected
saying,
too.
though.
Yeah.
And we certainly shouldn't, as
Well,
a society, pay for it.
Because I
But-
found that out. No, what I'm saying is, for the longest time, until a few months ago, I was pro-choice, and then I found out what I did, and I'm pro-life now.
Congratulations.
So
God.
why were you pro-choice all that time? What was the driving factor?
What was the driving factor? Because
It wasn't personal to it.
exactly, I didn't know that.
Well, and I
Just
think
gonna say, oh, I don't want her.
so. You were educated. Maybe you were inspired. Maybe would be another. Someone spoke. So I mean, I think for us, all of us here, if you believe, that life begins at conception, we need to be compassionate towards those who don't see it that way. I think because they're not going to hear us if we're yelling at them, right? I mean, no one wants to be, So I mean, I think we need to find out how we can communicate because, however, Sarah was touched.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jake from State Farm.
Yeah.
Just Jake from State Farm.
But I mean, I don't. You
The
come
easiest
forward.
way to allow this to ever continue without an argument is every red-blooded male needs to stay the hell out of the conversation. Leave it up to the individual woman. Because it doesn't matter. As men, we will never understand the feeling, the emotional attachment or trauma that goes either way with it. All I can do is sit here and say, I don't want to see you have an abortion. I don't think it's right. It's your body. I can't stop you. I can't force you to do it. Because as a man, who's going to force you to not have a cigarette? Who's going to force you to not have a drink? That is your choice.
No, it's not. And
It
look
is your choice.
Look at the government
Who
right
forces
now.
you to smoke a cigarette?
No, nobody's smoking.
Okay, and that's
no,
what
no,
I'm
no,
saying.
no. I'm saying people
She's
are trying to
got that
smoke.
choice with her body.
Some people
How
are
do
trying
you
to
get to
stop me
regulate
from
what she
doing
says?
what I want to do. This is supposed to still be legal. You go ahead.
I completely disagree. If, my daughter was, before my wife and I got married, my ex and I had a baby out of wedlock. And if she would have came to me and said, I want abortion, I would have done everything I can to say, you know what, carry it term, that's part my baby. I understand their body goes through changes. But when you lay down to have sex, that's an option. They knew that going in, that there's a chance they're going to have a pregnancy, the chance their body's going to change. They read about it in what, 7th grade health class?
Sure.
6th grade health class, I'm sorry.
Have
Now
that
it's-
baby. Put that baby up for adoption.
And
Let
but
that
no,
baby
I'm
have
saying
a fighting
I would take
chance.
the baby.
But
If
no,
my
if you
daughter was
didn't
gonna
want
be
that
aborted,
baby.
I would want it.
No, but
to
if you
raise.
didn't want that baby, put that baby up for
Exactly.
adoption.
I see what you're
Let that
saying, yeah.
baby have a fighting
Now,
chance.
Now, you might not agree with me on this, but I'm saying is, when is conception? Doesn't it take a while for conception to happen? It's not like instant. It takes like a day for it to happen. Am I wrong, or I'm not? That
It's been a
much
while
wrong?
since
I
biology.
think
came
you're
Yeah.
right.
over.
I
But-
think you're right.
If there's a rape,
Or if you
case-
watch that little movie where the sperms,
yeah,
like all those little, the talking
Yeah,
one.
Look who's talking.
Yeah, look who's talking. Yeah, yeah.
Talking.
But if
We would never
If
abort
we
if we
go
all
to
do
rape-
this.
then basically there should be no abortion.
If
allowed.
what now?
Abortion shouldn't be allowed at all if you think that way, because there's the morning after pill.
Did you say rape?
Yeah, before, if they were raped, they can hurry up, go to the clinic, which I'm sure there'll be everyone's out there, get the morning after pill, which stops it from conceiving. It doesn't kill it, it stops it from conception.
Well, it's stopping something that would be a life. So
We've got-
You're
All right.
splitting
I guess
hairs
you could
there,
go, well,
but,
then when a man ejaculates, would that be killing? Because they're alive.
No.
They're alive.
Don't do it anyways, but go ahead. I don't
I
support
wasn't saying
that.
I'm doing it, but
He'll go blind. I'm over here.
Okay.
All right, to answer the question, sort of, conception itself can occur anywhere between a few hours and 5 days after intercourse. This is because sperm can live inside your uterus and fallopian tubes for up to 5 days.
Go guy, go boy.
If during that period you ovulate, release an egg from your ovary, then the sperm can come into contact with the ovum to make an embryo. That's according to Google.
So when you were talking about the women's their body and stuff, the one challenge I would face you: what about the baby's right? Does the baby not have a
Who
right
has a better connection to make that decision?
God.
to choose
If you believe that way.
to kill?
Okay, I forgot
No,
your
what
name.
take? You don't need. But no, if I mean,
It's a
so
living-
I have a right
it's
to
living
kill
person.
someone else, even
You're killing
if
someone.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
It's
Because the
killing a
thing is,
It
you
doesn't
have to
have
think.
cognitive function until 16 weeks.
Where did you start? How did you begin life?
I don't know, probably when my mom shot me out. I mean, you know, that.
Yeah.
You
No,
were
I,
well before that.
your being started when that egg and that sperm became an embryo. That's
from a
when you
medical point of
began.
view, yes, by all means.
And that's the thing. Science is great because we have like today
And
we can
science is a
show.
double-edged sword that you want to use both ways. So you either have to go with straight science or you want to incorporate.
There is no straight science
obviously,
until we
you
get
go.
even
What-
that moms aren't the greatest.
Do you-
So,
But,
it's
What
double-edged
about-
sword. Science? Are you going to use it as science?
Well, okay, when should abortion?
Yeah.
When
Or
should
are
abortion
you going
be
to
cut?
inject your pseudo
No, it's science.
Judeo-Christian
Science
beliefs into it?
supports biblical
Yes, it does.
worldview.
It does.
It does because it shows when life. You know, there's proof. It shows the creation.
They can
that-
actually go in and operate on it.
DNA
in the womb. That's a person. they can go in there and fix.
I guess that's
something.
what I would. My challenge for you would be because you were talking about the women's right and it's her choice,
Sure.
but to me, I think, what about the child? Is she? Because I'll tell you this. I really believe if that child if that embryo is a human being, and she aborts it, I believe at some point that she'll realize when she realizes that she took. I mean, I would challenge you to talk to any woman who had an abortion and then realize later on that was their child.
Somebody with their phone, check on this.
We better.
Yeah, let's
go ahead and we'll come back.
We'll be back. We'll
Yeah.
continue this, obviously.
Thanks, guys.